Hi, today I'm going to talk about insert query in SQL. We do a insert query using insert into statements. What is the use of this insert query? We use insert into statement or insert query to add new tuples to a table. So new data can be added using insert query. Here I will discuss about the two different ways of writing insert query in SQL. The two different ways are one way which specifies only the value to be inserted, and second method is specifying the column name of the table along with the values. So the first one, specifying only the values to be inserted. Its syntax is insert into table name values in parenthesis we mention the values of attribute value 1, value 2, value 3. Here one thing to be noted is that the value 1, value 2, value 3 are the values of attributes in the table, and the values has to be in the same order as the columns defined in the table. So value 1 is the value of column 1 and value 2 is the value of column 2 in the table, and so on. The order of column or the attribute has to be maintained. Example, if we have a table department like this, 3 attributes: department name, building and budget. I am writing an example query to insert a value or a tuple into this table. We can write the insert query as insert into department is the table name, values in brackets CSE Nila 1 lakh. Here CSE is the value of department name attribute, Nila is the name of value of building attribute, and 1 lakh is the value of budget attribute. When executing this query, the corresponding value is inserted in the table. So the department name becomes the first row in the table as, or a tuple in the table with the department name CSC, building Nila and budget 1 lakh has been inserted. Now we can see the second method, specifying the column names along with the values. The syntax is insert into table name, column 1, column 2, column 3, etc. Values, value 1, value 2, value 3, etc. Here the column 1, the value 1 corresponds to the value of column 1, which need not be the value of or the attribute name of the table or the first attribute of the table name. Need not to be the column 1 need not to be the first attribute of table name or the table. We can rearrange the column names and values when using this method. I will show you using an example. What I mentioned is we have a department table with department name, building and budget. Here the similar queries has been going to be inserted, similar values to be inserted with a department name as ECE, building name as Nila and budget as 1 lakh. Here we write the query as insert into department in brackets that attribute names are mentioned, department name, comma, building, comma, budget, and its values are ECE corresponds to the department name, Nila corresponds to the building name, and 1 lakh corresponds to the budget. So the corresponding value is inserted into the table. If we execute this statement, the corresponding value is inserted into the table. The same thing can be done with rearranging the column names. Example, in this query, if we have written a query like this, here we write the query as insert into department. In bracket, the column names are mentioned as first the building is mentioned, then the department name, then the budget. So the order of the column names are different from the order in the table. So when specifying like this, the value of attributes also to be the same as the order of the attributes mentioned in the query. So the first value has to be a building name, the second value has to be the department name, and third has to be a budget value. So here the building name is Nila, the department name is ECE, the budget is 1 lakh. So when executing this query, the same result will get. We will get the same result. The department name ECE, building Nila, and budget 1 lakh will be inserted as a tuple into the table. Okay, we can use either of these two methods when using or when writing a insert query. Suppose we have a table like this. Its primary key is department name. 3 attributes: department name, building, and budget, and the department name is the primary key. And we have another table, course, which contains course ID, title, department name, and credits, where course ID is the primary key and department name is a foreign key which references the department name in the department table. Some other unique constraints also mentioned, like unique constraint and not null. The title of a course has to be unique and it should not be null. And a third table is also there, which contains an ID, name, department name, salary, and age. A lot of integrity constraints has been mentioned here also, where the ID is a primary key, the name cannot be null, the department name is a foreign key, no integrity constraints in other than the data type. Age as a check constraint, which has to be greater than 21. So this is the table that we are going to talk about. So we have now currently there is no values in the tables. First we are going to insert a value in department table. So insert into department values CSE Nila 1 lakh. When executing the query, the corresponding value is inserted into the department table. Okay. And now I am going to insert another value. EC Nila 1 lakh. In executing the query, the same as we see, the value get inserted into the department table. Okay. And the next, I am using the second method to insert another query, another tuple. Sorry. So here I am going to insert a C department in building Periyar with the budget of 2 lakh using the second method of insert query. Here also the value get inserted into the department table. There is no error in that. This is the format of inserting values into a table. So the query will get executed and the result, the data is stored in the table. Here I am going to insert a fourth value. Here there is a problem whether this query get executed or not. What's the problem here? We are using the second method. Okay. In this, the column names, in the place of column names, we mentioned only 2 column names, building and department name. The budget is another attribute in the department table, but it is not mentioned. But in the value side, we have the same as the attribute. We have mentioned only 2 values. A Periyar is for building and A is for department name is being mentioned. There is no value mentioned for budget. So mentioning 2 attributes and its corresponding value, we forgot about, or we skipped, or we ignore the other attributes. We have budget here, we ignore the budget attribute. What will be the result? Will it cause an error? In this example, this query will not cause an error because the budget value can be null. So if the budget is not specified or the value for the budget is not specified, the value will be considered as null. And when executing the query get executed and the corresponding value will be inserted into a table with the ignored attribute values as null. So here the budget value is when inserting the new tuple, the budget value is inserted with a value null. So this query has no problem in executing because the budget value can be null. No constraints has been mentioned as the budget value cannot be null. We can give something like budget as not null. In such cases, the value will not be inserted. You have to specify some value. Otherwise, if it can be null, then the query gets executed and the value will be set to null for that tuple. So this query also is getting executed without any error. So in the second method, we have such kind of advantages so that we can mention only the attributes which we need to enter. All other attributes can be skipped. The same can be done using the first method also, but here if we are doing the same, then we need to specify null in the place of all ignored attributes. So here the budget is ignored, so the third attribute value is given as null. So when executing this query, the former result will get the same result we get in the previous query. Now I'm going to insert another tuple. Insert into department values AE Genga 50,000. Is there any problem in this? Yes. What is the department name AE is already entered. AE department is already entered, and in department table, department name is the primary key. A primary key cannot have duplicate values. The primary key has to be unique and it cannot be null. Here it is not null, but the value is a duplicate value. The already AE department has been entered, so we cannot enter a new tuple with department name AE. So when executing this query, it will cause an error, and error says is an integrity constraint violated. A primary key cannot have duplicate value, or a primary key has to be unique. A unique constraint is violated, or integrity constraint is violated, or it gives some error like primary key constraint is violated. Here, that is, this query cannot be executed in a database because of integrity constraint. So we can move to the second table. I am going to insert a new value in instructor table. So I write the query as insert into instructor values C3 Anup CSE 40,033. C3 is corresponds to ID of instructor, Anup is the name, CS is the department name, 40,000 is the salary, 33 is the age. In executing this query, a new tuple is inserted into the table. Okay, corresponding to the query. Now I am going back to the instructor schema or the create query of instructor. Here there are many integrity constraints mentioned. First one is ID is the primary key and name cannot be null. Department name is a foreign key. Age as a check constraint that the age has to be greater than 21. So every time when you are executing an insert query, all of these integrity constraints must be satisfied. So last case, when we insert the first tuple, it satisfies all the constraints. Now consider the another query given here. Insert into instructor value C1 null CSE 40033. Will this be inserted into the table, or it cause any, or the database cause any error for this? Yes, because C1 is unique. Okay, it's a primary key, it's a unique value. The other value is C3, so the C1 is allowed. Name, it cannot be null, but here it says at the place of name you have to insert null, but it is not possible because in the integrity constraint says the name cannot be null. So this insert query will cause error. It will not get executed. It gives the error because of this. The name cannot be null. The name attribute is set as not null. It cannot be null. So it gives the error as integrity constraint violated. The name attribute cannot be null. The integrity constraint has been mentioned for, it's not C1, is for the null. Null, it cannot be null. The name attribute cannot be null, so that the query cannot get executed. So I changed the query and inserted a new value, Anish. Is there any problem in this now? Query seems to be okay, right? But when you execute this query, this again causes an error. The query is not executed. Why? It's an error in this. Because the syntax, everything is correct, but the values has some other problems. The other integrity constraints has been violated. Which integrity constraint is violated here? Here, the third value, triple E, the referential integrity constraint, the department name is a foreign key. In instructor table, the department name is a foreign key and it refers the department name of department table. In this insert query, the value of department name is given as triple E, but there is no such department name in department table. In department table, CSE, ECE, CE and AE are the department names. So when we try to insert something in instructor, the department name has to be one among the one of the values here. CSE, ECE or ECE or CE or AE. But here it is given as triple E. Triple E is not a valid department name in department table. So a referential integrity constraint is violated in this insert query. So the insert query cannot be executed. The foreign key constraint violated, and triple E is not a department name in department table. Foreign key constraint violated is the error occurs when executing this query. So what will we do? We can change that value to some other valid department name. So I change the triple E value to ECE. Now this query is okay, right? We can execute it. But again it will cause an error. Where is the error now? C1 is okay. Name is not null. Department name is a valid department name. 40,000. Is there any constraint for salary? No, there is no integrity constraint mentioned for salary in the create table. But there is an integrity constraint or a check constraint is there in the age attribute. The age attribute has to be greater than 21. A check constraint is there in the age attribute. The age has to be greater than 21. Here is given that the age value is 20, which is less than 21. So the query will show the error as check constraint violated the age has to be greater than 21. So I change the value and try to insert these values into the row. Will this get executed? C1 Anish ECE 40,045. Is there any problem in this? I executed it and the value get inserted into the table without any error. Okay. This is how the integrity constraints in the table and insert query related. Every integrity constraint mentioned in the create table has to be satisfied when writing a insert query. Other values cannot be inserted into the table. So can move to the course table. In course, I'm trying to insert a new value, S1 database CSE3. Insert into course values S1 database CSE3. The number of attributes is same. The course ID is S1, title is database, department name is CSE, credit is 3. Here we can go to the course table, check what are the integrity constraints and referential integrity constraints in that. Here the course ID is the primary key. Title has to be unique and not null. It has to be unique and not null, which means the title is a candidate key. Like the primary key also is unique and not null. And the similar kind of constraint is mentioned for title also. That means title is a alternate key or candidate key. Department name is a foreign key, referencing the department name of department. Credit has nothing mentioned. So come back to the insert query. Here S1 is a unique value, so primary key is possible primary key value. Database, there's no other values in this, so the title is unique and the value is not null. Department name CSE, it's a valid department name. It refers to the department table. It's a CSE department is already there in department table. Credits is a 3. It's okay. When executing, the value will get inserted into the database. Again, I'm going to insert another tuple into the course table. Insert into course values CS1 database ECE3. Is there any error in this, or this value is going to get inserted into the table? Yes, there is going to be an error. What is the error? The title has to be unique, because title is also a candidate key. It is unique and it has to be not null. That means title is a candidate key. The title cannot have duplicate values. Here the course ID is a primary key and it has a different ID, course ID for this tuple CS1. The previous was S1 in table, but the title says database again, but the previous title was also database. As title is a candidate key, its value has to be unique. Here it is not unique, so it will not get executed. It causes error because the title is mentioned with unique not null. Title is a unique not null attribute, so the error is caused. We need to change the title value, otherwise it will not get executed. The error is unique constraint violated. When executing this query, we will get the error as unique constraint violated. Where is unique constraint? At the title attribute. So I change the value to PDD. Is there any problem now? I change the value CS1 for course ID, PDD for title, department name ECE. ECE is a valid department name. 3 is a credit. Executed the query and the value get inserted into the table. This is how the insert query works. insert syntax has is simple syntax. We can use two methods, either by specifying the values only or mentioning the attribute name and values both in the insert query. We can use either methods for inserting new tuples into the table. When we are inserting, we have to take care of the integrity constraints that are defined during the create query of these tables. Only insert queries which satisfies all the integrity constraints get inserted into the table. Other queries are shown error during the execution. That's all for insert query. If you have any doubts or any questions relating to this, please comment. Thank you.